Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, we have new episodes coming out every Monday and Thursday. Let's get into it.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
Damn, no,
Shit,
that would. And you're still smoking them?
I mean,
Did
at
you
this
use
point,
that blunt?
I mean, it's natural shit, but it's like, dog, like do some quality
You
control. Don't let-
smoked the bug pack?
Oh, I mean, I cleaned it off and used it. You know, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's natural. It's natural, but just do a little bit more better quality control when it comes to it. You know
I
what mean?
stopped smoking Backwoods right when like Russian cream started coming
Why?
out.
You didn't like?
I was I don't know, like
I started smoking the Paxton Pearls. You heard of those?
yeah, but I'm just like tobacco. I just smoke trees on
Right,
like that
right.
Wiz Khalifa shit. But I used to Backwoods. They used to be good, but now I just hear friends be like, "Oh, there's only one good in a pack." I would never buy a pack if that. Yo, I used to be notorious for bringing Backwood packs back to the store. They hated me, bro. If there wasn't 3 good ones in a 5-pack, I would bring that shit back to the store. Be like, give me a new pack of Backwoods. And now everyone's like, damn, you're lucky if you get one good one in a pack.
Well, that's true. Like you could get. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be able to salvage at least all of them. Dog. Like if I get one that's
All of
good, I'll use the good one to fucking salvage the 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying. Like when I grab, I try to like test them, see if they're they're even okay to like rip at the top.
What's the price of a Backwood pack out here?
Out here they're like $8.99
For 5?
for 5. Yeah, they're like $8.99, $9 comes out to like 9 or something.
Shit's expensive out
It's
here.
expensive
where I'm
as
from.
fuck, bro. It's
What?
expensive as fuck.
6.
See, but me personally, I buy them in the lot. You know what I mean? So I get them by like a 45 pack, the boxes. So I'm sure I get them at like
But everything, the bud out here is
$5 a pack,
expensive. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
I
saying
mean-
dispensary, but not that I'm
Dispensary.
buying dispensary bud all the time, but like dispensary bud in mass is what, like 400 and up.
Mhm.
Here it's
Yeah.
like 600.
well, because it's like more fucking designer, dude. Like you get over here, fools are like, you get fools coming from out on Hollywood, and then they want to walk the fucking Hollywood stars smoking on that fucking gelato, balada, cantata, whatever the fuck that just came out. dog.
No disrespect.
And they about to spend a disrespectful price on that shit.
How much you think of that is just the packaging?
That's fucking 96 point something.
You agree?
Hell yeah.
This
You'll be
fool,
surprised.
this fool spent 20% off. It still came out to $1,200 at Dr. Green Thumbs yesterday. I don't mean to out you.
I mean, nah, but I guarantee you he's smoking on some crazy flavors. But one thing I noticed though, when you go into these establishments, look at those motherfucking dates. It may be a flavor that you like, just be like, yo, like, let me check out that date. Like, when was it? Because what they do is they try to put the old shit up front. And, I've learned,
Yeah.
even being here, like, so I can just imagine on a daily basis, those random ass fools that are coming from a different country, a different state, and they're just like, oh yeah, they walk into the store and like, give me the best shit. They're like, okay, they have a big smile. They give you all the old shit they had. I mean, trust me, but it has to go somewhere. Somebody got to buy it.
100%. That's like when you go to New York and like people would be like, just go to the bodega and they sell fucking CBD shit. It's like,
No, but that's crazy because even over there,
that's not
like
the thing.
the bodegas are like doing their own thing now too over there. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but shit is expensive out here.
It is. It's very expensive now for like a
The
premium.
gas, $7 a fucking gallon.
How do people live out here, huh?
Yeah, that's
bro,
what I'm trying.
that's why I have a lemon tree, dog. You have to grow your own fucking shit.
Do you live off of your lemon tree?
Well, yeah, I have people come through,
You're like,
That's how I survive out this weather.
you just have a constant tart face.
That's how I survive.
All the time.
You get that side income. Hustling on the side, huh?
Yo, you're slinging. Yo, you get a free mixtape with every lemon you buy.
Shameless promotion.
Yeah,
Shameless promotion. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, that lemon tree's impressive as fuck, though. You wanna know how dumb I am? I swear to God, when we walked out here, we were a little stoned. I was like, damn, are those little ones limes?
All right. Oh wow.
I didn't know they had lemon and lime trees. It's like a fucking.
Oh, it's a lemon lime tree. That's what it is. Wow. Hey, I would get confused. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the
No,
fact.
you should laugh at me.
I'm
That's
laughing at
stupid.
the fact though. Like that's some shit that somebody that's super faded would definitely do.
Yeah, be like, damn.
Like, yo, you got
Wow,
the
so there
Sprite
is a
tree.
lemon lime.
It's
tree,
like a
right?
Sprite tree. You got a walk art tree over there?
Sprite tree. Oh, that's a good one, dude. Like, yo, that's gonna be the story. You're gonna be walking over, like, hey man, have you seen XP Sprite tree? He's the only one in the world that has a fucking Sprite tree.
It grows lemons and limes.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh.
That was a good one. The snack
So
is
those
good,
aren't limes.
though. No sir, no sir, no sir. Those are not limes.
Oh my
Those are
God.
lemons, 100%.
Thank you for having us in your home to do the
Hey, I
podcast.
appreciate you, man, for coming.
We
through.
had some dope ass fucking pizza.
Yeah, we had that birria pizza, huh?
Can you explain to me what that is?
Wow.
Because I know I'm just gonna sound bad if I tried to pronounce it.
Right. I feel you.
Like if I was trying to order it, I'd be like, "You got that meat in the ground pizza?"
No. I want you to say it. How would you order it?
I-
Come on, boy. Come on. Give it to the public. Come
I
on.
know. Wait, what's it called? I gotta hear you say it one more time.
It's birria.
Birria.
Yeah, I mean.
Birria pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
You're
I
like,
mean, you say it like a normal white dude. So yeah, I want some of that birria pizza. That's cool.
yeah,
You know?
I'm not gonna put on an accent.
No, yeah, I mean, you should at least try to roll the R's at least.
I can't
dog.
roll my
Yeah.
R's. No.
Birria.
Beer, no. I just my tongue's too beer. My tongue just falls out of my
I got
mouth.
mad cotton mouth right now. G. Like, so
Birria.
I can't roll my fucking R's for nothing.
Beer. I just sound super anything. I can't order anything. I feel like I would just have to do a serious face.
No, I feel
That I can't do I can't pronounce it. I just have to like.
You're like, yo,
furrow my
let me
brow.
get that pizza that has the meat on top and the juice on the side.
You know XP? What does he normally get? Like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Nah, well, pretty much that pizza consists of. They do their own dough there too, so I don't know. It's like a Mexican thing, you know, kind of dough that they make.
Mhm.
Anyways, they put like a pinto bean like base on it, and then they do jalapenos and cheese,
Mhm.
and then they put the meat chunks on there.
And that meat's
And,
just like
and that meat is like cooked underground, I guess, and like, you know, what I mean, it has super juices and flavors, dog, that are just
and then it has
slapped
that
to it.
shit that you pour over the
Well,
top.
that's the consumel. The consumel. It's like a fucking drink that they basically cook it's basically the juices from the meat that's cooked and it drips down. They add like lemon and they add like certain, you
so
know,
it's like fat juice.
it's like the broth, yeah, like the broth. So you basically it's like it's like you're bathing its shit.
Why
You're
can't
bathing its own flesh in its own juices at the end of the day. That's basically what it is.
Oh, I understand. I don't get why shit like that can't be healthy though.
Oh, it's not healthy at all. I don't think
Right?
so.
Like
Yeah.
that's a cup of fat. I'll pour that shit on a bitch and lick it off.
That's straight. Like, no, I
might
know,
be
right,
hell.
right.
You can't eat a Caesar salad off
you
a
can't-
bitch.
You don't wanna eat that shit off, but pour that fat off of that shit. Yeah, I feel you. No,
but there's nothing you can't like. I like salads. He makes fun of me.
no,
'cause I
that's what he
ordered-
said. He's like, dog, like, I'm glad you're hooking us up with some other shit. Because everywhere we go, this we eating salads. And then you told him, you're like, yeah, but you just want to go to all the restaurant chains, dude.
Yeah, we'll go to great ass cities and be eating that fucking PF.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I want some IHOP. I want some Denny's.
Nah, he likes PF Chang's.
That's fire. That's fire.
I like Olive. I do like Olive Garden
Olive Garden.
because they got that breadstick soup
Yeah,
salad, soup salad breadstick.
$10, that's
This
it.
fool goes to town over there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
But the thing is, that's like
no bite. I'll just swallow that breadstick whole. Pause.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Nah. I like that because it's like after 10 o'clock at night, I'll just eat anything. So I feel like I have to be healthy during the day.
Nah, I feel
Because
you.
there hits a certain time of night where any like rational thought of what you're ingesting is done.
So do you feel that like when you eat stuff now that you're older now, like does it make you sluggish throughout the day?
Oh yeah, it gets me.
So you're making that choice.
That
Like,
heartburn
if I eat that shit in the
yeah.
morning, like
But I still do it sometimes.
well, we just ate a fucking. That was the first thing I ate all day was that fucking birria pizza, homie.
Well,
birria.
I ate Taco Bell at like 1 a.m. when we had to leave for the
Oh,
airport.
he
at
told me that.
3
Fool.
a.m.
Yep.
And
That
that
was a-
shit, I was praying to God. I was praying for two things: the plane not to crash, and for me not to shit my pants on that airplane. Those were the two things I was praying
Well,
for.
I mean, dude, you didn't, that was like setting yourself up for straight.
But I was good. I was straight.
The thing is with the video, it's real. Like you gotta slow cook
Yeah,
that shit
real
for 4
food is
hours.
always
Yeah,
better.
yeah, exactly.
When
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like real ingredients,
Yeah,
that shit's
exactly.
always better.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think since you're over here on this side, we talked about it earlier, like the shit you should try over here is definitely the Mexican food, dog, and try to make sure that the tortillas are made by hand, because if they're taking the time to make the tortilla by hand, then they're gonna take the time to make sure that everything else is.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And it's funny because like we went to Mr. Chow's, which is a fancy ass, expensive ass restaurant last night.
Right. Yeah, you're telling
But
me.
like sometimes that's a fun experience. Like sometimes the best food is just like the
Dog,
pizza. You know what I
go to the
mean?
hood
Like,
and you're gonna get the best everything, bro. You know what I mean?
for real.
That's a fact. Like, you go to the bodegas back
Just
east.
turn it into a really serious music. And that's how it is with music. The just yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah, right.
it's just the worst transition over.
Yo, this fucking thing is blowing smoke up my ass right now.
Oh, the
Son,
flame. We tried to get a fire going for this podcast.
And this shit straight did not.
It did not go. No fire. Oh, do you need help? I'm just gonna sit here while they do manual labor. Fucking dragging a. It would have been cool if we had a fire during the podcast.
Yeah, well, what happened was it rained a couple of days ago, so the wood is still fucking.
When you're
down.
tripping, fire is just a. Like,
That's what I wanted to happen.
I
I wanted to
understand.
have. I wanted
for
to feel
people
the
not
warmth.
knowing, you might be.
Yeah,
on some
yeah.
mushrooms.
I'm a little microdose stuff right now, but it's natural, man. I'm in the comfort of my own home. I was gonna light this up right now, but it's not.
But when you're looking at a fire while you're tripping,
Yeah,
like it's
that's-
the best feeling.
It is, man. And just like feeling the warmth too.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gives you like. a
It's
little
that
bit
like
of,
primal shit.
Yeah, it does.
It
bring
is
you
something
back to
about
that.
mushrooms is when you're on them, like you don't really want to be on your phone.
Nah.
You want to do more like
this.
earthly shit. Yeah,
Like, be
exactly.
out, hear the fucking,
The
the
birds.
birds. Go on a hike by the creek, hear the water,
Yeah,
that kind of shit, man.
yeah. Climb a mountain. I climbed a mountain tripping a couple months ago up in Maine.
Oh, how was that?
And I was looking out over the mountain. You just feel like your ancestors. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at the
hell
top
yeah.
of a mountain, nothing.
Fuck
Just
yeah.
like.
I
being
thought
like,
you were
what
gonna
the
say too,
fuck?
like I climbed the mountain, and at the top there was more shrooms, and I fucking picked them
Like a
fresh.
leprechaun.
Yeah, like fresh off the mountain. Like nah, I like was
That
out
was-
there tripping and shit.
I would not know if I found
Real,
mushrooms.
yeah,
I would
Yeah.
not trust to take them.
right. Yeah, there's those ones that could kill you. Fool. What's the-
You ever had like trip to like you ever get crazy visuals? Like what's the craziest trip you ever had?
I think ultimately, man, what happens to me is I get into a real, like you said, like a primitive kind of mind state, and I wanna hear the birds, and I think I just get more in tune with energies and like. See, he seconds what I just said. The bird did.
The bird, yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it. And you heard it, people heard it on the
So it's
podcast.
like, yeah. So I mean, ultimately, man, it's like, you know, just being outside, being around nature. Like I don't really see like trippy like visuals and shit like that. I never really did, but like it's more of like a feeling. You
No,
know?
I get what you mean.
And that's why like earlier I was like, yo, is this shit awkward? Because like, you know, the silence when you're on shrooms is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Because your mind's so loud, you're like, is anyone else hearing this shit? Yeah,
right,
no, I
right,
understand.
right, you know?
Do you do you make music tripping?
You know what? I have, bro, and that's the thing, because like as much as I like this, like the serenity of just chilling, I also like to hear loud music in my ears and create and shit like that too, you know, because it puts me in a different space as well. So
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I guess, you know, it's like the yin and the yang. You gotta have the zen with the chaos, you know,
No, I feel
the
that.
war with the peace. You know?
Well, it's like you doing yoga and shit. Like
Yeah.
you were saying, was it 2 nights ago that we were hanging? The
Right.
first night we were in LA, you had us over
Right.
to your house and we were just smoking. And you were talking about like if you went back to when you were younger
Right.
and more wild. That story of you with your
right.
ankle, bro, I haven't stopped thinking about that, honestly.
Yeah.
But going from that to like you doing yoga classes 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Like
man.
that shit is real, and I've honestly been thinking about that, inspired by that, because like you can find that shit later.
You have to,
like,
you have to, because I think even naturally without doing shrooms, you could find a zen and a peace somewhere, dog. If
you
try
have
work
to.
on it. Yeah, you have to. You have to. Bro.
It's crazy how
'Cause
many
if not-
people don't work on that. Like, don't
Well,
try to find a
because
peace.
a lot of the times, dog, people, you know, they get consumed by other things that they're trying to cover up and mask the hurt or whatever the fuck they went through in life. You know, they're trying to cover it up with other things, and it could be hellish. It could be food. It could be fashion. It could be splurging. It could be, you know, chilling with different women. It could be all types of stuff, dog. You know what I mean? That some people do. But me personally, I live my life righteously. So when I go to sleep at night, man, I don't really have anything to fucking look at and be like, oh, I should have did this differently. I should have did that differently. And I think all that coincides with doing yoga and doing things of the physical realm. Because when you lay and sleep at night, you're in your head, you know. So when you exhaust the body, the mind follows too. You know what I mean? And if you have all this, you know, pent up energy, you know, and you know, a lot of people think working is exhaustion. You know what I mean? But it's like you could work a hard labor job, a concrete job, you know what I mean, and get home and like if you've ever done that kind of work and you get home, that shit feels good, bro, when you're eating dinner and you take a shower and you're like exhausted, you take your boots off, like you're like, man, I worked a hard day's work right there, bro, you know, and a lot of people don't know that shit now. They don't know that kind of aspect to work, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people get work confused with actually working out and things like that. Because when they get home, they're like, I'm too tired to work out. But it's like really the mind is really the thing that's exhausted over like, I want to get out, work on my body. And then when I get home, because everything just leads to.
Yeah, I feel that because like I'll want to have a lazy day. But if I stay in bed until 1 and then get up or noon and then get up and don't do anything, I feel like a bigger piece of shit or more tired or more anything than like
Right.
if I got up,
right.
did my yoga, meditated,
Right.
got out, worked out,
Right.
and then like did the shit, just got on top of my shit.
Right.
Even though I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna lay in bed. Even though I know that's gonna make me feel worse.
Right. And see, and that's the thing though, because it's like sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need those days to be like, you know what, I need to chill because I've
Yeah, but you need to celebrate. I was like, there was this thing that my like people who like, it's like, what are you out celebrating every night? People are, it's like, what are you relaxing for? Like, you have to build up those days. Like I feel like if I'm on my 4th day of doing nothing, I'm like, damn, I don't deserve this relaxation.
I feel the same way. I feel the same. You think it's like imposter syndrome sometimes, where you feel like you're actually doing what you love to the point where you can relax, or you feel like there's so much work that needs to be done that you don't deserve that shit for it. And you know,
I think
this imposter syndrome, I think, has a lot to do with that shit too, dog. Because you know, when you get to a certain point, you're like, yo, I'm actually doing this shit. Like, fools are tapping in with this shit. Like, this is my job. Like, you know.
Yeah, but I think about it. I try to like compare it to other jobs a lot, like regular jobs.
Bro,
and it's like
they.
But you also, I feel like you can in a way where it's like, all right, they work 5 days, they get 2 days of relaxation.
Oh, like that, yeah.
You get a vacation time every little bit.
Yeah, so you got, you're deserving of it. Yeah.
That's kind of how I think about art, where it's like, okay, maybe I'll give myself 5 days of super grind, 2 days of relaxation, and then I can have like a week or so off once every 6 months or something, like a real job. Like, you know, because you don't get to take time. Like, that's when I feel like a piece of shit, where it's like I'm 4 days off. It's like, who gets 4 days off? No one.
Right. But if you work hard enough, who's to say that that's not okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then it's like, all right, this trip to LA is a vacation in a sense.
But it's also work as well.
But it's also work. So it's like...
See, but you have to tell yourself that, because everybody else on the outside, they're just going to see it as a vacation.
Yeah.
They're going to see it as you, like, you know, you're out here just, you know, but you have to make it be like, hey, when I get back, you guys got to respect it. Like, this is what I do, you know? And it takes years for that to even get other people on board, as well as yourself, to be like, yo, I deserve these fucking 2 days today, or the day of the week.
Yeah.
Just to kick it, man, you know, because I mean, dude, I still get that, because even when I'm on vacation and like I tell my girl, like, yeah, I'm gonna put, she's like, all right, you better put it. I'm like, I can't, dog, I can't put my phone away, because I'm like, I'm constantly having to do shit, because I don't know anything other than work, bro.
Because you're like constantly trying, it's not even trying to prove to others, but you're constantly trying to prove to yourself that you're at this point that you want to be, but you'll never get to that point, like,
if you don't relax and just sit in it and enjoy it, right?
Exactly. Like, it. And I know I've been saying this on the podcast a lot, but I've been dealing with it with like weight and stuff, where it's like a diet. When you're picking how you want to be healthy, you can't pick something that works for 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. You need to pick something that's going to be what you do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, life change.
And that's kind of how everything has to be. When you realize there's not an end point and you just enjoy the process, that's when you can actually do it.
No, facts. That's facts, bro.
But it sucks because you always want that end point. You always want, when's the end of this? But there is no end. Like, you're going to release a project that makes you want to quit rap. You know, it's like, there's no, like...
And it's crazy, because I think you when you get into these kind of art forms of expression, rap, artists that makes paintings, to DJs and all these other people that express themselves in these ways, I think when you get into that kind of mind, when you delve into that kind of mind, it's hard to really come to grips sometimes and look at all the hard work and be like, fucking, you know, did I come too far? And then even then, when you start the shit, do you know that you signed your life away to this shit, like your whole life? I don't think I did, but I did it out of love. I did it out of wanting to be a part of the culture, and I think it brought me through everything, bro. And
Yeah.
You know? And I think as
The signing your life thing, I'm like thinking, that's why I'm like thinking about that. heavy.
because I mean as a kid, bro, like you love something so much, you know, like and to make you want to become it too, you know. So it's like you kind of like sign a covenant like early on, bro, like as a kid to be like, well, fuck, I'm gonna stick this thing through all the way. And there's other people that have given up along the way that have also received that covenant too. But I feel the ones that truly are meant for those, you know, positions of, you know, being who they are in life, they reach it because they never seen anything other than it. Like,
And the more people you meet, like the more people I meet, even coming out to LA and the people I've met here or going anywhere, it's like, oh, they're on the grind just as much as
right,
me.
bro, and that shit
I've never
inspires you, bro.
I've never met someone that's made it. And like that I might not have been in the right rooms, but like, all right, I was with Benny in Mass.
Right.
And I asked him, I was like, dude, don't you ever get tired? Like, that's like, don't you ever get tired? And he's like, that's what keeps me hungry, like always being tired. And I'm like, damn, so he doesn't even get the break. Like to him, he just
You would
made
think-
it. Like
You would think like, right, like that fool's like
I could take
yeah,
a day
like
off.
he can,
like,
but even him, he has to keep the hunger alive.
everyone
You
does.
know?
Shit, look at Snoop. Like, look at how hard Snoop's grinding harder now
Than
than
ever.
He's on everything.
Bro,
Every time you see him,
He's in the NFT
he's just
world now.
yeah. I want to talk. That shit's crazy
See,
that you were saying.
yeah,
But like he grinds
yeah, he's grinding.
and he's never stopped.
Nah, he's never stopped, man. And I think, you know, now even more, we're looking at our legends now, man. Like they're sacred because, dog, being a rapper now is hella dangerous, fool. That shit ain't like it used to be. You're not revered in your own hood, bro. These fools are trying to smoke you in your own hood, bro.
Yeah.
And that's just plain and simple, dog. If it, you know, it could be a old hater from years ago, bro, that ain't done shit with his life and just wants to see you right where he's at. You know
Shit,
what I mean?
people want 5K and they got 100K on them. They
Bro,
got 200K.
you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing now. Living as just an artist in general. Like I said, it doesn't have to be hip hop. It could be an artist in anything. I feel like we're living in these times where a lot of these arts are looked at like, you know, disposable arts, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know what I mean? It's like it's not revered how it used to be. It's not respected as it used to be. It's not held, you know, sacredly as it used to be.
Which is so crazy because when you talk to people like in the other world, you know, like the non-art world, like they're like, I can't believe you're doing that. It's the grass is always greener, but it's almost like, okay, but why isn't this so? I do get what you mean. It's a strange thing. It's like,
yeah, because
there really is two different schools of thought, and it's almost like there's two different complete ideologies or worlds that people live in.
Yeah, man.
Like the art and the not.
See, and that's what, you know, gets me back to saying that, you know, you have to love this shit first and foremost before you do anything else, bro. Because, you know, if you put money before it, you put, you know, anything, bro. Anything before the love of it, bro, you ain't gonna be happy at the end result, bro. You know, and I've seen a lot of fucking dope cats end up bitter as hell because they felt they didn't get maybe the respect they should have got at a certain time, or they should have got something at a certain, you know, on their own time. And it's like, dog, this shit ain't at our time. You could, dog. There's been so many projects that I've dropped. I'm like, this the one, bro. And if I sat all my money on just that project, I wouldn't be here right now, bro. So I'm just like, as I move to with this thing, you know, we call life. Like I feel like looking at other individuals that have their, you know, the big house, the cars, and everything, and I look at that shit on IG, and I'm saying like, man, like, am I doing something wrong? Because I'm 36 and I'm a rapper. But then I look at it and I'm like, man, I'm doing what I love, dog. I'm happy I have a place to stay. I'm able to pay my bills. I take care of my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm able to do what I love, and like I'm blessed. You know what I mean? And like to normal society, being a rapper or like being a comedian or being a certain these certain, you know, things that kind of society, you know, deems as kind of just there's a lot of them. They come and go kind of thing. They see you as that. Like now I see it, man. It's like I do it from the heart, but at the end of the day, it's like, what do what are we gonna get ultimately at the end of the day as artists? Like smoke in front of my house, in front of my kids. Like that's the way I see it, bro. Because that's the kind of shit where we're getting to. Because you could be super personal with the public, you know, and be a source of inspiration, a source of income, a source of everything to the streets, but the streets don't work. The streets don't work. You know what I mean? And that's the cold facts, bro. And it's so hard to come up out of these streets, bro, and then want to give it back because the streets ain't the streets. They don't want anything that you're giving them, homie. They want you, bro.
And then and I'm not. If you try to go back and show love, you almost don't want
I'm not saying don't go back and show love.
No,
I'm still
of course.
living in the same spot I've been living in, you know, for 20 plus years. People know where to find me. But what I'm trying to say is like at the end of the day, man, you know, even though I'm a good dude, I put out good energy, I do good for myself, my family and stuff. There's always gonna be that certain someone that doesn't agree with that.
They all
And for some odd reason, I could be out somewhere, you know, having a good time, and who knows, you know what I mean? All because that person has an issue with me that I don't even know about. And it seems like that's how a lot of these dudes are going away, man. It's like people having issues with them that they don't even know about, dog, and they just happen to be, you know, happen to have access to them because they're in the hood again. They're in the hood school. They have access. Other than that, they would not have access to them. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a heart like that, fool, and you're gonna go back to the hood. You're gonna show love to the hood, and then what happens, you know? And trust me, homie, like I come from the hood, you know, and I was a child of Toys for Tots, and being handed shit, you know, like from the government and certain things and charities and shit like that. So I know how it is to be given and receiving in a humble way and using the resources and the inspirations that I've seen coming up from the hood and not using them in a way of like, oh, I wish I could be them, and if I don't become them, I hate that. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, though. You know,
because you have to make that decision. Am I going to hate that, or am I going to become?
Yeah, am I going to become that? Because other than that, it's like, and see me, man, like I don't have any space in my heart for people that come from a place that I come from and have the same time of day, have the same everything. They were given the same thing as me and don't utilize everything in their power, dog, to fucking get out of where they come from. And
how do you think you used it to grow more?
I use it as the fuel to the flames, man. Everything anybody ever said. And see, me as a kid, though, I had a speech impediment. Like I stutter now, you know, as an adult, but as a kid, I had to go to speech therapy. I didn't do so. I kind of used a lot of these things, dog, that was put up against me to use that shit and used it, you know, to my advantage, bro. And now I'm a lyrical, linguistic maniac for this shit, and I could tongue twist and all this shit. But before I couldn't even get a sentence out of my mouth. So I come from a place of using what is meant to fuck you up and kill you and make you nothing, and use that shit to make you who you are. And like that's why I say I have zero tolerance for like seeing people and using excuses to be like assholes and just be shitty people, dog, and feel like they're owed something. You know what I mean? Because they went through shit in life. Nobody owes nobody nothing. Yeah. We owe it to ourselves to get ourselves out to where we want to be in life.
You get exactly what you deserve.
You get exactly, right? You get exactly what you put in and what you deserve. Hell yeah. And you know, and I feel like there comes a point where every thug, every gangster, every this, every that wakes the fuck up, homie, and like puts that shit and utilizes it towards trying to make something of themselves to leave it towards their kids or to their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, Nipsey did. He was a G from the block, but he strategized and he did shit in a way where it was where it may not have went against, I mean, it may have went against, you know, society's normal, but he did it in a way where he was able to, you know, put the people on and like, you know, put himself on.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
just
and
drove
build
by.
business.
We just drove by his shop
Right. Yeah.
last
Man.
night. Rest in peace.
But that's why I say, man, it's like, you know, he was in like, dog, they killed him in front of his shop. You know what I mean? And it's just like, shit like that hurts me, man. You know, to see, you know, Biggie get smoked out here, Tupac get smoked in Vegas. Like, I'm an artist,
Dolph
bro.
gets smoked.
Like, fools are getting smoked, bro. Like, when I signed up for this as a kid, with my heart open to hip hop, I didn't know that this may be my demise in the end, bro. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, Lord, you know what I'm saying? Like, hear my prayer, man. I put it out there for, you know, myself, every other artist out there, man. Like, just, you know, the streets ain't the same, man. Like, you know, roll with your peoples, you know, the people that you believe that will hold you down in the midst of the darkness like that, you know, because and like I told you too, bro, I was like, yo, man, I don't go out no more. So every time I go out, it's when like homies from back east are here, like, you know what I mean, or some shit like that, because I already know what's out there, bro. I don't need to be out there, homie. You know what I mean? And that's how these streets are.
Is that sad though?
It is, bro. It is, because at the end of the day,
Like, do you wish you could?
I mean, I still do, homie. That's
No, yeah.
like, I mean, it gets me sad and like, you know, shit like that, but I don't fear, homie. You know what I mean? I don't
No, I
fear. If
get
it's
what
my time, it's my time. But I know I'm not out here doing people wrong. I'm not out here owing people or you know, putting my family in harm's way and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not out here, you know, doing, you know, beefing with ignorant motherfuckers that ain't got shit to lose. You know, that's why I tell you, man, I don't be out in the streets like that, man. At one time in my life, for sure, bro. For sure, I was a part of these streets, but I was a part of it in a way where if they saw a person like me now,
Shit, bro, that's what you were talking about.
You know
You
what I
were
mean?
going back to like jamming, like you were fucked up to like doing yoga classes, like fucking your body, you know, like
out on the streets, drugged up to like doing yoga now, and like, you know, trying to. I mean, and see, that's the thing with this music shit. Like a lot of people like, yo, you know, that's the Marxman. You know, he be talking about, like, of course, man, like that's what I do. I come from these streets, man, and I tell real stories. And like, you know, Rashid Chappelle, he put it the best way. Like, we don't have to pull from an imaginary source. It's like everything that you hear on the records is right in here, bro. We don't gotta be like, oh, what am I gonna write about today? It's like I sit there and I just start penning shit.
yeah.
The beat, boom, and it just comes because that's just what, you know. But it's not like I'm out here actually doing this shit. This is something that, you know, and it's crazy, man, because, you know, my best homie is doing life right now, you know, for murder, homie. He's already 8 years deep, you know, 9 years deep, you know what I mean? In this shit. And it's like, you know, I know firsthand shit where it comes to just drugs, streets, you know, gangs, all that shit. I'm a product of that shit, you know. And I think the best thing you could get from me and my story is just being a source of inspiration to get from the mud, you know, to where you want to be. And I'm still at it, bro. Every day
100. But you are an inspiration. Like that's why, like,
I'm working at it every day.
but it's crazy how many people don't want to even make the basic steps. But like, if you, all right, you're a kid growing up really tough, and you said you had a speech impediment.
I did, bro. I had to go to speech class like the first from kindergarten all the way to like fourth grade, bro.
And then
Facts,
you go, and then you're in the doing, you know, the street stuff when you're younger.
Nah,
So then now, like, that is an
Yeah.
like that, and you're like, you have to use all that as inspiration.
Nah, for sure, man. You know, and you know, my mom, rest in peace. You know, she passed away in October of last year, man. But she was my biggest fan, bro. She was the reason why I'm able to do the things I'm able to do now, man. Because she, lo and behold, you know, she put me through a lot of shit when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And you know, for sure, like growing up, like, wow, like I had those why me moments, and like, you know what, you know, and I had that chip on my shoulder, like where I would, where I would do shit to myself or put myself in certain instances and situations to get attention from the people I loved and shit like that. Ultimately hurting myself, you know?
Yeah.
And
Because you can't change that shit.
nah, bro, you can't. And that's the thing. I think, you know, a lot of the people that you see out here that are homeless and hurting, dog, and they're like transients and they're living like they use these drugs for whatever drug they choose to use to mask a lot of that shit that they went through as kids and not face it, dog, you know? And it's hard. It's hard, trust me, man.
What did
I went
AA
through-
Rashid say yesterday? That we use everything you do is trying to find God in
Right.
something else.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
No matter what. Is that what he said? Everything you do is trying to find God in something else?
A lot more to
Wow.
it, but yes.
A lot more to it, but boiled
No,
down.
but that.
But you
makes
know
a
what?
lot
You
of
get what
sense.
I'm saying
get
when I say
shit.
that.
Get
Because
shit.
it's like,
because at the end of the day, bro,
at the end of the day,
the
it is what
streets,
you,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
decisions you make.
make.
And I'm not even saying that for homeless people have mental
No,
health issues,
no,
'cause
yeah,
that's a bigger, bigger
that's a
problem
bigger picture.
in the
But
system.
but like I come from that. I come from the you know, depression, anxiety. I come from homelessness. I come from gangs, violence. Like I'm a product of all that shit, bro. And like I went through it personally. Homeless on the streets, on meth for fucking a few years out of my teenagers. I did it all, bro. Like I said. So to come to a place now where I'm doing yoga and like I'm seeing, trying to find the peace in a lot of these things, it's like you have to be able to, you have to face it, dog. You can't keep masking it. You can't keep doing the things that you feel are right, but they're leading you in the same shitty fucking hole that they led you in yesterday, and then expect to get results. You know, you have to look inner self and believe in yourself to become the best person that you were always meant to be. You know, and I think if and it's so cliche, for it's so cliche, man. And like I wish this shit upon my brothers and sisters, upon my friends and my family, upon anybody that I ever come in contact with, is that you find something that you love, grasp onto that shit. As long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody, do that shit, homie, and do it you how you would do it, and bring that to the game.
That goes back to what I was saying, the selling your soul away, not selling your soul, but signing, whatever the phrase that we used earlier. But it can be in a good way.
It
Like
could be in a
I
good way,
started
man.
this, I started when I don't think I've ever like really given the full, and I won't do a full story. But when I was 16 years old, I knew I wanted to be a comedian, and I couldn't do stand up, so I started doing improv. And that decision right there led me to me sitting in LA with you.
Right.
And this is my real dream, like comedy, doing comedy and doing podcasts where I get to, like, that's my, but I didn't know that was the shit. I just dove in. Like I made that decision. I signed my soul. I signed my soul that was the thing I was going to do.
But you unconsciously,
and I didn't even know what it was going to lead to, but that's what it leads to. It leads to like you finding your shit, like
finding yourself. And I wish that upon everybody that I come in contact with, because I feel that I've worked so hard in something that I truly believed in as a kid, and it was in real time, like hip hop. You know, they say hip hop, saved my life. That shit saved my life, man. And it saved a lot of people's lives, bro. And that's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, I don't have a story that was, different from what I'm saying. Gemma, go lay down. Come here. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
My grouchy dog is over here fucking with the interview. Gemma, get over here. Sorry, guys. She's in trouble. Go lay down. Go, hey, go. Lay down now. Lay down. Yeah, we're talking about you. There's a lot of people that are gonna see you
acting a fool.
Yeah,
acting up.
No, but yeah, man. But like I said, man, going back to having came to a reality that I just turned 36 a few days like last week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And you know, to myself, to tell myself, hey, man, you're a 36-year-old rapper trying to become a rapper. You know, I'm still on my, you know.
Yeah,
on
but
my
you
climb
just
up,
signed
man.
NFT.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's some accolades, man. You know, I'm always happy and inspired because there's always something new all the time that
But
I
you
could
still
say.
never proved.
But like, dude, like I'm telling you, man, like I'm the local rapper still. You know, I done opened up here, like you know, to a lot of
the
people.
local rapper.
I mean, to a lot of people, I am. Dog, you know, they still see me in that light. You know.
All right, but like
I'm a local LA rapper that has been
to an
doing this
album
shit.
with Rashid Chappelle of New York,
Right,
like
right.
working with like Rock Marcy or
Right,
having
right.
Jay Royale on the project, like you have accolades not just in like
Right, man. You know what? I'm completely humbled by all that shit, dog, and I'm grateful and I'm fucking. You know, I look back, dog, and I can't say that you know my journey hasn't you know been a movie because it has, dog. I've done so many glorious things to hip hop.
and going back to when you were a kid, like
Yeah, and like you know, and like envisioning certain things in my head, and like yeah, like I'm you know traveling the world to like you know open up for Wu-Tang. I remember hearing Wu-Tang and wanting to chill with Wu-Tang and all that shit, and then you know to ultimately you know traveling to Zurich to like open up you know for Jizza to do Liquid Swords, which is my favorite fucking. Like,
that's my favorite.
it's just the universe has been so good to me, man. But it always, like I said, it always shows me things when things are going so good that I could turn and go right back to where I was. It always gives me those options, bro. It's like right in front of my face, you know what I mean? Like just.
But if it wasn't,
Did I tell you the story about the? No, I didn't tell you the story. So on my birthday the other day, I took my girl to go get some food right here up the street. I'm in my flip flops and I'm like just relax, food, right? I pull up, we order our food, I sit down and I'm like on my phone, but I always keep an eye out on my surroundings, right? And there was these two dudes that happened to order before us and they, you know, sat down and they didn't really, you know, take any mind to us either. So I sat down, I'm looking and I'm like looking at this food, I'm like, looking at this food, I'm like, that motherfucker owes me money, dog. And I'm not talking about no fucking, you know, it's like a couple of G's, fool. And like, I look at my girl and I'm like, all right, it's my birthday. I already got this whole shit planned out. I'm in flip flops. She's with another dude. I could grab this hot sauce right here and just crack this fool right now, or you know. And then keep in mind, like that's my homie's spot. Like my homie owns that spot that I was eating at. So I'm like, there's a lot of things that were in my head. I'm like, see, the universe does that kind of shit to me, dog.
yeah, test you on your
Facts,
birthday.
bro. On my birthday, like, what are you gonna do? And like before I came, like, and I was like, you know, okay, first, I'm not gonna eat here, so I took my shit to go. I was gonna eat there, so I took my shit to go. So the whole way back, I'm like, man, fuck this fly. So I was gonna come back and fucking put my shoes on and then roll back and all
Yeah,
this
you can't fuck
shit.
someone up
Yeah,
with
fool, I
flip-flops.
was like very like in my feelings, dog. I was super in my feelings. And I came to grips when I realized like, bro, like the universe did that to me on purpose, dog, to see if I was gonna fucking go back to the lifestyle that I try to work so hard to get away from, dog, you know.
Yeah.
I know he owes me bread. That's cool, but I'll just let the universe do what it has to do. You know what I mean? And at that point, I grew, bro. I fucking grew because any other time, I would have fucking came back and put my shoes on, and who gives a fuck? I mean, you know what I mean? Who knows? Like, but like I said, dog, it's just shit like that. The universe, you know, be doing to me, man, and but it also does other things too. Like it blesses me. It puts people like you here to want to do a podcast about who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? And you know, I've met glorious individuals, dog, through this shit, like 1,000 Words, New Vegas, to put me in certain, you know, just put me around certain individuals, dog, that I normally wouldn't, you know, come in contact with.
Yeah, but we're all, it's so funny.
But we're all
like,
in the same
like-minded,
shit.
doing our own crazy different shit. Like,
it's a new renaissance of this hip hop shit, dog. You know?
and it's almost not, it is, because it is all based off of the hip hop shit. But it's almost it's like a school of thought thing.
No,
where
no,
it's
no,
like,
for sure. Yeah, it's like I think
because
it's
it
a
can't
collective.
be paint, like it can be artists, it can be photographers, it can be like it could be anything.
Yeah, I think if similar interests happen to arise within certain individuals, just happen to meet each other, and you happen to be at the same spot for hip hop, or I think
Because it is
you
hip
know,
hop that bring, yeah, it is.
it's hip hop, dog. And hip hop's always been unity, dog. You know,
Yeah.
regardless of where it came from. You know, and regardless of if the fools want to entwine, gang banging with hip hop or whatever they want to do, cool. But underlying thing, hip hop's always been unity, dog. You can talk your shit, whatever, you know what I mean. But hip hop's always been that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. We're almost done, but I know you told me about the other night, but I want to talk on camera about how that NFT thing came about.
right, yeah, with Snoop, man. Well, shit, dog. That just happened to be something that I was blessed with, man. My man Frankie, we came up with do this hip hop shit. Works for Snoop. He's been working for Snoop for like 10 years. So when Snoop acquired Death Row and he started hitting off this NFT thing with it, Snoop kind of approached my homie. Was like, "Yo, man, I want to do some, Latino artists and shit. See what's up, you know what I mean? And dabble in that arena or whatever." And the first person that my homie thought about was me, which is I'm blessed for that one, And um, when I got back from a trip that I was on, because he had called me while I was on a trip, so I wasn't really working at that time. So when I got back, I just started writing shit, bro. And my homie produced them. He's like, "Yo, let's just do this thing where I produce it, you write to it, we submit it to Snoop, and if he likes it, he'll put an NFT on it, and then we'll put it up." And he did an actual mixtape through NFT. So he was uploading his own music as well as other artists, instrumentals from different producers. And so it's a new thing. I don't really know too much like about anything else other than that. Snoop.
But you submitted 3 songs?
I submitted 3 joints and they all made the mixtape, bro. So
That's
I'm
dope.
on volume 1, bro.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that, bro.
That's dope as fuck.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it was a pleasure for me to do these tracks because normally, bro, I rap lyrical and raw, I would say. You know what I mean? So that automatically caters to like the East Coast sound. I like my beats raw, so kind of just so I'm from the West Coast though, so I have that in me to rock over them,
Yeah.
Dre-ish kind of beats and like I'll show you some of the tracks. We can listen to them.
We're to listen to them
and shit like that. But yeah, man. So it like I definitely when put on the spot to like pen some shit
Yeah.
and cater some shit to a shit like I've already I tested myself to the point where Snoop heard my shit 3 times and he's like, I fuck with it, I'm gonna submit it. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
so that yeah. So I mean, honestly, I don't know what's to come about it, but I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready to fucking I want to
learn
dive
about
into
this
that
NFT shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't.
If you know about NFTs, hit me up.
Yeah, hit us up because that shit's on OpenSea, so you can check out the songs.
That's
and
like BBLs. I hear about it all the time, but I don't know exactly.
yeah, bro,
what
and it's
it is.
through like Ethereum and all. Yeah, man, I feel like a fucking grandfather when I speak to this shit because I'm just like, But
I'm 24 and I don't know what the fuck. I just want a flip phone and to talk
shit,
to
I'm
people.
11 years older than you, mijo. So
Man, thank you for doing this. This
Hey,
is dope
man.
as fuck. We like
appreciate you.
barely talked about music. On
Yeah,
that
I mean,
shit.
you can check out the music, XP the Marxman.
His shit's dope as fuck. Listen to XP, RX.
Yeah, all right.
With Rashid Chappelle, dope ass project.
Yeah, and then also what I got coming up is I got a full project coming with the Beat Junkies, man. The Beat Junkies. DJ Redmatic, DJ B Styles coming to you live and direct. That'll be dropping here soon. And that'll be my next thing, man, my next accolade that I offer to the world, man.
I can't wait to hear that. You have a name for it?
Yeah, it's called Pacific Standard Time.
Dope. You know when that's dropping?
Shit, we dropped the first single and video like last week. It's called Trunk, and it's been getting spins on Schaefer 5,
Well, that's
shit like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Shea 45. They always hold me down, man. All the DJs at Shea 45, you know, Static, Trackstar, DJ Caesar, all you dudes, man. Much love. Hold me down over there. So they're spinning that. But it should drop, thinking May, dog.
Dope as fuck.
Next month,
Can't wait
yeah.
to hear.
I forgot it's a new month now, right? It's April
Yeah,
2nd.
right. Damn, April
Shit, dog.
2nd.
Forgot I just paid a whole new fucking set of bills too. Oh, well, that's what we do it for. Huh?
So we can do the podcast. Too.
Yeah, dog, we chilling.
Thanks
man.
for like you're opening up your home to us.
Nah, no worries, man. And you know the pizza was fire. My dog's chilling with y'all too, man. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure,
and when
bro.
you come out to Mass again, we gotta hang
Nah,
out.
yeah, I'll be out there soon too. So catch me out in Mass, and I'll be back east too, like in April. So I'll be out there, bro. I'll be doing some shows and
Oh, dope! I'm
Just getting
definitely gonna
busy,
have to
bro.
pop out.
yeah, we'll be out there.
Oh, aren't you headlining a festival or some shit?
I'm actually headlining my own show out here when we do this project with the Beat Junk. It's been like a $5 show, but it should be dope, man. It's gonna be my first headlining LA show.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Congratulations. When is it?
I don't know when they want to do it, but
All right, find it on Instagram.
yeah, just,
At XP the Marksman.
I'm out here. Yeah, at XPTHEMARXMAN Pacific Standard Time. Jeez.
Peace out.